Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. So, as we talked about in the last one, today we're going to move stuff with the Schematicannon and the Schematican quill. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we will pop over to the old base. Actually, wait, before we do, we're gonna want the Schematican quill, right? So that we can capture schematics. Let's make an empty schematic. I think we can reuse the Schematican quill because we just save it to a file. I'm pretty sure. So we'll just make one for now. And if it's not the case, then we will bring it back. But there we have our Schematican quill. Let's head back to the other base. And we're going to start with all of the mechanism automation because that's going to be one that I really would like to get tied into the storage. And yeah, we should be able to do that pretty easily. So I'm going to take this drawer controller out because while we'll use it in the setup, it's not something that we need captured in with this. Now, we're going to need a chest. And I probably didn't bring one, did I? We have like a regular chest, but I really want a diamond one. Maybe that iron one will be big enough. Yeah, there's an iron one in here. I saw, right? Where is it? Right there. This iron one should be big enough. So we're going to put everything in here once we capture it. But what you want to do with your Schematican quill to be able to move things and set them back up with your Schematicannon is we have to pick a corner for it to start in. And so we're going to go one block out from the edge here. We're going to go to this right here and pick that as our first position. And then once we have our first position, now we need to set our second position for everything we want to move. I'm going to exclude the aqueous accumulator because we're going to replace that with a ender tank of some kind. Now, we need one more block so that we can get that row in front in here too. So what we can do is we will place our Schematican quill and then we will highlight the area. And then now we can break this block because we've already selected that position and the block won't be included in it, just the stuff that we want moved. And so we just kind of want to walk around and make sure that we don't have anything hanging down lower than our selected area or higher up than our selected area. So let's see, is that stuff in it? It looks like the floor down there. Yeah, so it looks like we have everything right there. So that is our selection, gets us all of everything we need, and we can just put an ender tank to connect to the water on the other side and not need that aqueous accumulator. So put this block back, and now control right click. There we go. So this is mechanism automation. Sure. And save. So now, if we were to come into our schematic table, we should have mechanism automation right there. So it's saved, and now we can use this Schematican quill to grab a new one. We did not need our schematic table at all. Oh my gosh, y'all. I was distracted while I was getting ready to tear everything down because the dust was not going and there weren't resources coming out of it. So I realized I'd never set it up. We got these from looting the sky villages and they look like goblins, but they're just pedestals. So I gave him an export upgrade and you can see him hold the sand before he puts it in the chest. Oh my God, how cute. I wonder if there's more. It shows that there's like a stone cutting pattern that he comes from. So let's see, pedestal. And then if I click on you, I want uses. Oh, there's a cat and a rat and a goblin. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Pedestals just got even a step cooler. I wonder if he can like change the color of his clothes. Like maybe if I give him like a different color wool or something. Does he look different? Wool. Sorry, this is my brain, y'all. Welcome to my brain. All right, here's red wool. That's fine. So if I put it in my offhand, nope. Okay, so there may be another mechanism to give him a different color outfit. I don't know, but it's not as simple as just right-clicking him. That's adorable, though. Look, he holds it before he puts it in the chest. Anyways, that's getting our buffer going on sand, and then I will try to integrate this somewhere, like maybe right over here next to the deep slate. But we'll get him tied in permanently, but I just realized we were, using up a bunch of redstone and stuff and didn't have dust being sifted. Now, back to tearing the island down. So to tear the island down, oh my gosh, these goblin things are amazing. Back to tearing the island down, we are going to need to just stuff it in a chest. So I've got some packing tape and paper with me, and we're going to head back over and break down everything there and just stuff it in a chest. Then I'll use the packing tape to bring the chest and sit it down next to our Schematicannon, and we shall be good to go. Now, for right now, we're going to just dump my inventory into one of these chests right here because, we need as much inventory space as possible for what we're about to do. Here we go. All right, and the key is to just make sure we get everything. The only thing, I'm not going to take the floor. I'm just going to add extra cobble to it on the other side, and then that way we have, we don't have like a big giant hole in the floor and stuff. So, anyways, here we go. Oh gosh, what did I just lose into the void? I hope nothing. Those. I may have just lost a machine in the void. Rip. Let's not do that anymore. This thing has magnet though, so if I hold it in my offhand, it should magnet everything to me. Yeah. All right, that's a much smarter idea. Yeah, should have done that to begin with. Okay. Oh, inventory's full. There we go. I brought this other one for the Botania Island because if I'm trying to suck it in and rebuild it, I want this pickaxe because it is the only thing I have with Silk Touch on it. I still have not. Oh my goodness. I'm so lucky I'm not dead, y'all. Wow. Fast pickaxes, be fast. All right, let's snag this imbuement chamber. And then if we put all of this into this chest, we'll find out what fell in the void. Oh no! I knew I should have used a diamond one. Dang it. All right, let's use a diamond. And so long as we caught everything, we'll figure out if something fell in the void because the Schematicannon will tell us you're missing whatever, and we might have to remake a machine because I do think something fell in the void. I just didn't see what it was. Editing Wooly will know. I had better editing skill set. If I catch it, I would slow-mo it, but I don't know how to do any of that. So we need our packing tape and paper. Packing tape. There we go. All right, back to life. Back to reality. Oh, no, sorry. Back to the new base. Now, where do we want to put it? So let's grab our schematic, put it in the schematic table, and tell it, hey, mechanism automation, yo. So there we have it. And then we're going to pick up the shulker and put our chest right there. And now we just need to find a position for all of this. Let's put it back here. Let's come forward some and over some like that. And we definitely want to, so left alt and then control scroll. Okay, we want it like that. Does that look good? See how none of the pipes are connected? I think we're going to have to break them all and replace them. We'll see what they look like when the Schematicannon puts them down. But I mean, even if we have to break the pipes and replace them, that's still better than having to come up with all of this on our own again. It actually could go that way some. So let's left alt and then move vertically, move horizontally. So control and scroll pushes it. Now let's see, how many more? We could definitely go 2 more blocks over. So control scroll, that's 2 more blocks. I like it. I think that'll be fine. Yep. Okay. So there's the position for it. We'll toss it in. Incompatible blocks, check server logs. What? And it cleared it out. Interesting. Please hold while I figure that out. Well, y'all, it looks like we're going to have to chalk that one up to a fail. I think it is the mechanism pipes that it doesn't like in the schematic, because that's what the error in the logs for the game is talking about, is mechanism pipes. So I'm not sure if that's the case, but I'm going to have to rebuild all that by hand rather than using the Schematicannon. So I will re-examine those logs, and if I figure it out, I'll put it in the pinned comment or something about what went wrong. But yeah, we're not going to be able to move that one with the mechanism pipes, and I've tried changing configs and stuff, so I don't know. If you guys know, let me know. Give me a minute while I rebuild all of it by hand. All right, I figured I'd check in with you on the reconstruction. So since we had to do it all by hand anyways, gonna make some of the changes that I was gonna make before, but we've got export buses right here that we made set up to export the required ingredients for the various products we were making over on the other side. I went ahead and set all of those up so that we can, get that going. Problem's going to be channels, though. So, as you can see, I'm at 7 of 8, and I really don't want to have to use dense cable for, this. It's like over a stack of cable to come out this way. So, I made some P2P tunnels that we are going to break this connection up there, put a P2P tunnel there, put another P2P tunnel somewhere out into this room, this way. And then we can break off our channels over on this side without it, taking up all 8 channels of this cable. We'll put some dense cable over here for shorter runs and then feed our directions off of it. So it's going to take some rerouting of the initial setup of our AE2 cables to tie things in. But I'm going to set up a P2P tunnel, pair it up, and then I will break this off so that we have enough channels for all the things that we need to do. We'll be able to do things like set up these on import buses after we set them in drawers, and then we can eliminate all of these tanks here and go with import buses right along the edge of this that just suck the fluid in and then put it into tanks over in our storage. That's going to be cool to eliminate this little bit there. I've got a lot more to go, as you can see, with getting all this set back up, but just figured I would check in with you since we're having to do it by hand. All right, so I've got some more done, but I've run into some hiccups. I have run out of the formation cores, which we were looting from village chests and whatnot, and it was great up till this point. But because I don't want these things here on a crafting card, I don't want them to be like made on demand. I want them to kind of have this constant buffer, which was how we made them in the originally. We need export buses. So you have to, the way these are set up is you are exporting in the top, the alloy, just like we were before. So, and then through the face, we are exporting the enriched item that is used in there, with the exception of the quantum mechanisms because they use the source gem. And so since we want these accessible in our storage as well, I just put an export bus here into our imbuement chamber to let it passively make our source gems, and then it's sucking those in from the side to keep things going for us. Now, I have not linked these things to the drawer controller. I did link these so that we could pull the refined items over to this side, but I have not linked any of these additionals. So let's go ahead and add in all of those. And I ran out when I was working on enriched obsidian. So we have a few hurdles that were things we were doing manually before that need to be automated. And now that we have our infinite lava, one of those things is obsidian. We are short on obsidian, like very, very short on obsidian. But the other thing that we're also doing now is because we're exporting from our storage, all of these are going to back up a full 2K of the enriched item, which is the base of what a drawer will hold. And that is going to help if we run things dry, or if we go through like a big craft, that will help everything kind of keep going better. We'll come back and upgrade some of these machines later on too. So first things first, we need to be able to make these cores. So formation and annihilation cores all use energized glowstone, which is just a magma crucible that we export glowstone dust into. Let's see, there's a bucket there, or 250 there. It takes 4 to make them, so there's no difference if we export the glowstone dust or if we converted it to glowstone itself. So we'll probably just set us up a magma crucible over in our fluids area with an export bus that's, or an exporter. No, it's an export bus that's exporting the glowstone into the magma crucible and then feeding it into a fluid drawer. So we'll get that going. Probably do that together just because it's not something we've done. And then we're going to need a fabrication matrix that can be used for crafts. So right now we have this one going that is just straight making us osmium, and we're also working on trying to smelt through our backlog of ostrum so that we have the ostrum we need. I've kind of got the osmium compressor quite literally just hidden around the corner back here, and I had another realization. So, we were talking numbers last time of 624 osmium. Double that. We're going to need double that because it takes, it's not one whole osmium, I don't think. Nope, it is. Yep. So it takes one whole osmium ingot per refined obsidian ingot, and we need just as many refined obsidian plates as we do the osmium for the cryo-infused osmium. So now instead of needing 600 and something osmium, we're going to need 1,200 osmium for our Venus spacecraft. I think Venus is where we go to next. I don't know. Tier 3 rocket. That's what we need for our Tier 3. So we're going to need a ton of this. And I need to make an ender tank, which is the next step. I need to make a few ender tanks so I can get the liquid force being brought over into here without having to move that setup. And it's just, it's good so that it doesn't have to have the setup, over there, but we'll figure it out. So let me gather some materials for setting up the glowstone dust stuff so that we can get our cores going. And I'm going to see if I can get everything together for us to make a second fabrication matrix setup that we can then use with a pattern provider, and we can feed it the things for each recipe for things like these formation and annihilation cores that we're going to need. So it'd be cool to have those set up where we can feed them through. We do still have a few machines left we haven't set up. We have an enriched redstone one that we were just using for the random things that needed it. So we're going to get this set up on a pattern provider. That way, if we need something that requires being infused, but it's not the signalum stuff, if it's not the infused alloy, we will have the way to just toss a pattern in there and have the system make it for us, and we'll only need one more of these for all the stuff that we don't want continually being made. This is our setup for steel. I have to get these two still tied in so that the steel's being produced. I had to bring some dense cable out here because we were at 6 channels in this corner already. And then as you can see, each of these machines is taking up 2 channels with the 2 different export buses. And then we're tying in the outputs with the drawer controller so that all of this is visible to our storage. So, and as you can see, it's pulled that refined obsidian out and is using it to keep going until it hits our 2K stockpile on the enriched obsidian. And we're going to really need to get this done. As a matter of fact, what I'll probably do is let's take out this storage downgrade from this for now, because we are going to need 600 and whatever 24 of these. Well, not any 624 anymore, because we actually have, let's see, refined obsidian. If we toss these in, we have 20 plates plus 100, so we have like 175 of the refined obsidian we need for the plates. So we still need like another 450 or so of them. So we're going to need to let this back up. But one of the bigger holdups on all of this is that we need obsidian to keep this process going. So that is the other thing that we need to get into. I think we're going to make it with a pedestal, since we have infinite lava in our storage system, which we should be able to export to a pedestal. Then we can use that pedestal over crying obsidian, and if you give it the lava, it gives you the obsidian out. So let me gather the stuff for those 2 processes, and hopefully that'll make today's a decent episode. All right, so I made up one of the rats. You just take the pedestals and you toss them in a stone cutter, and it lets you make the different ones. So the rat is going to make us our lava. I tied in an export bus right here with him, and then I am going to stick a drawer. Actually, why don't we, before we leave that, why don't we take that and put it over here on the side? That way we can do our pedestal above him for his drawer, and that should be good to go. So we need an export bus coming into the side of the rat, and then we're going to put our smart cable there to connect it in. And you are going to export lava. And we're going to give you acceleration cards. So now you can export lava. You're taking the lava in. He's uncrying obsidian because that's what the recipe calls for. And if we give him a material generator, what else is needed? Does he need a pickaxe? He probably needs a pickaxe. Let's see. He's going to need one, I guess, capable of breaking lava, right? Pickaxe. Let's see. What tier are you? Elementium. Harvest level 6. Okay, so that should be fine. And that's got unbreaking on it, which he doesn't need. But there we go. So now our rat can make us... Look at that. It's so cute. He's holding the pickaxe. Oh, my God. Sorry. I don't know why I think that's so adorable, but man, that's the cutest thing. Okay. Now that you guys know I am a genuine dork, let's go and put that up there, and then you give me some obsidian, please, rat. Thank you. And then we're going to put us a pedestal underneath, and it needs an export upgrade. And then we need our linking tool, and you go from receiver to sender, and the rat is making us obsidian. Yes. Oh my goodness, that is the best. Okay, so now we need to get this linking tool back to our current controller for over here. And then we have linked it up, and we now have obsidian. So, and as you can see, the machines over on the other side are actually pulling that obsidian out. That is what we want to see. Thank you, Sir Rat. You shall forever sit here and get injected with lava and make us obsidian. I hope you don't mind. Oh my gosh, these are the greatest. Like, I love this. This is so cool. All right. Quit nerding out, Willie. They don't want to hear you nerd out. Or maybe they do. I don't know. Either way, so that is great. That is going to utilize our lava that we tied in right there. I think I did that off camera. I don't think you guys saw it. So I just put a drawer like I had talked about so that we have lava available to our storage system. We're also piping lava into this ender tank for when we need it other places where we don't have our AE2. And then this is that infinite tank we got for, making 10,000 buckets. So the next thing was we needed to get our energized glowstone, right? Energize this stuff. So let's pin that recipe, and we just need a magma crucible. Magma crucible. Do I have one on me? Is there one upstairs? Fluid extractor. There's a magma crucible. Cool. And then we're going to need a fluid drawer for its output. And we need an export bus. Well, here's an extended one, which we made. And so far I haven't found a use for, but that is fine. Now we are going to need to tie into AE2 where there are some channels available. Do we have channels available here? Let's see. All 8 are being used right there. This should have access to more, so we can tie in off of it. So let's put this over here. It'll still be on the fluid side of things, just not over on that wall. And then we're going to want the magma crucible right there. And you are going to output to the bottom and input from the top, which is fine. And we will put this last export bus we have in to make our energized glowstone that we need for the stuff. Okay. So if I do this, cool. It's only using one of 8 channels, and it should put our total channel count up here. Something like, 16. Sweet. But we didn't take anything offline, tying that in. You are going to put glowstone. Come on. Glowstone. And then this is also going to need power. Let's do it with a GPS data card. Okay, so we've got power coming into here, and we're making energized glowstone, and then it should be getting exported to the bottom, but it's not because that is locked. So let's unlock it. And then we'll have to wait on it to pulse again. There we go. And now we can lock it back. And then we want to link it. And now we have energized glowstone available to us for the crafts in the fabrication matrix that we need to make still, which I did not get all of those materials together in between these two clips, simply because it was going to take me a long time to craft all that up. So I think this will be a good point for us to wrap up the episode. So we have our energized glowstone being made in a fluid drawer, which will be accessible from everywhere on our AE2 network. We also have automated obsidian, finally. Now with our infinite lava, it is great. We can just put that in there. Now why? Oh, I didn't lock this one. Configuration, no, linking is good. We need to lock it. You are only ever allowed to hold obsidian. So there we have it. Now it is complete, but we made up a radistal and we used the gobastal to get our dust tied in. I think did we do that this episode too? Dang, we did a bunch of stuff. Okay, so, and then here is the rat guy. He's making our obsidian. And that gets our processes out here fed, because we need the obsidian to be being pumped into here so that we can enrich it, so that it can then go over here once we get enough to make 2 more export buses, and we will export the obsidian here, which will then go into this one to make our refined obsidian dust, which then will come over here to make our enriched obsidian. And then once this setup backs up, It will fill this drawer up with the enriched obsidian that we need to feed into an osmium compressor for our refined obsidian for our tier 3 rocket. So it'll take it a minute for all this to back up, but this is, once we tie in these last 2 pieces, this whole setup will be fully automated and we don't have to do anything for it. It will just be making those resources. In between this and the next episode, I will get our steel tied into this drawer here. And then we're going to need to start talking about things like automating our multi-servo press. I don't necessarily need a stockpile of signalum plates, but it would be super nice to have them being on autocraft. And that way, when this here needs more signalum plates, we can stick a crafting card, which I've actually already made, in here. And this export bus would be able to say, hey, I'm out of signalum plates, make me some. And then wherever we set up the automation with our multi-servo press, it will be able to put in crafting requests for the signalum plates it needs, and it will craft them up and send them to this unit. So this is another episode coming up. It's going to be automating our signalum plates. Actually, automating all of the blended metals is one of the things that we really are going to need to get to make the tail end of this pack not so manual. So, but now that we have AE2 and all these channels, oh my gosh, P2P networks, yes, 32 channels out here. And if we run out of channels, we can always just move our bus, and add another, P2P tunnel out here to get ourselves more channels. But this is the ultimate goal. And as you can see, most of these machines are only 4 or 5 blocks tall. So when we fill down up this little area here, we can actually just come in and put another floor in, and then we'll toss ourselves an elevator block like right here next to it. And when we come in, if we need to go to something on the second floor, you'll just boop right up to the second floor, and we'll be able to have 2 layers of machines hidden inside Automation Station. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. It feels kind of all over the place, especially since I had that gigantic fail with the Schematicannon at the beginning, but you never learn until you try. I had never tried to move mechanism pipes. Learned the hard way that you can't do it, and I'd already torn everything down. And I feel like if I just, restored the world from a backup and pretended that I'd never did it, that doesn't show you guys as much about how I play Minecraft, and I like sharing how I play with you. So if you have liked this episode, please hit the like button for me and drop a comment in the bottom. I mean, even if you don't have anything to say about anything, just say hello. I'll say hello back. I really like seeing you guys in the comments there. It makes my day when you guys have something to say about it, even if it's like stuff that I don't necessarily use or I forget about, I enjoy those interactions with you guys. So we will see you guys in the next one.